The Nepal-India relations are on the edge of a precipice. Kathmandu's foreign policy towards New Delhi is becoming increasingly politicized. Nepal wants to junk all traditional ties. It wants to dump centuries of friendship. Let me give you 5 examples of Nepal's growing aggression towards India. Nepal is redrawing its boundaries. From Uttarakhand to Bihar, Kathmandu is laying claim on Indian land. The provocation is unprecedented. Nepal is moving its troops to the border with India. It has built a helipad. It is planting tents, building camps. Nepalese forces are becoming more aggressive by the day. They opened fire on a group of villagers along the Bihar border last week. An Indian citizen lost his life. Kathmandu is indulging in radio warfare. Nepal's FM radio, is playing anti-India songs. It is beaming propaganda in villages along the border. The Nepal Parliament is passing laws indirectly aimed at Indian citizens. An Indian woman marrying a Nepalese man will take 7 years to become a citizen of Nepal. We've been reporting all of this on this show. Driving this anti-India sentiment is the Prime Minister of Nepal himself, Comrade KP Sharma Oli. He is whipping up ultra-nationalistic sentiments to survive a rebellion. Tonight, let's call out his hypocrisy on territorial nationalism. You see, Comrade Oli lives in a comfort zone, a world filled with imaginary Indian encroachments. But he doesn't want to step into real life where there are obvious Chinese incursions. His denial is legendary. China is encroaching into Nepal's land through an ongoing road expansion project in Tibet. I'm not saying this, the Nepal Agricultural Department is. It conducted a survey last year. The findings were alarming. China has encroached 36 hectares of land in 4 different districts of Nepal. 36 hectares, that's about 70 football fields. It may not sound like much, but Nepal, you see, is not a very big country. China has launched massive road development projects in the Tibet Autonomous Region. These projects have led to rivers changing their course. They have expanded China's boundaries into northern territories of Nepal. The Nepalese media extensively reported on this. The dragon has encroached around 6 hectares of land in Nepal's Humla district, 4 hectares in Karnali, 10 in the Sindhupalchok district, 9 hectares in Sankhuwa Sabha. All of these areas once touched the Chinese border. Now they're inside the Chinese border, swallowed by the dragon. And China may be sending its army to keep this land. The Nepal Agricultural Department has categorically warned, and I quote, "There is a high possibility that over the period of time, China may develop its border observation post of armed police in those territories." High possibility. Given that it's China we're talking about, militarization is a certainty. What again is Comrade Oli doing to stop this? Nothing. Instead, he is amping up differences with India over imaginary encroachments. India constructed a road on the Indian side of the border. Nepal cried foul. Their Prime Minister seized the opportunity to complain about territorial integrity, integrity that goes missing when it comes to China. What explains this outstanding hypocrisy? The fear of a rebellion. The ruling Nepal Communist Party is dealing with constant infighting. It is on the brink of collapse. Saving it is its guide and creditor, the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. The Chinese embassy in Kathmandu is solving internal disputes. It is instigating anti-India sentiment and pushing Nepal government to pick fights. We recently spoke to the Deputy Chief of Nepal Communist Party's Foreign Affairs Department, Bishnu Rijal. Where does the relationship stand, we asked. What about the so-called roti beti ka rishta? Does Nepal still value it? You have to listen to his response.
So, as per we discuss about roti-beti relationship, it's world rhetoric, Siddhant, you know, the world is changing now and our aspirations has been continually changing.
You heard that. Old rhetoric, he says. Not everybody agrees, though. There's a huge political divide in Nepal over the government's actions and words. Political leaders in Nepal are now saying what we've been saying for the longest time, that the Oli government is dancing to the dragon's tune. On your screen is a tweet by Bimalendra Nidhi, the Vice President of the Nepali Congress, the principal opposition party in Nepal. We've translated this into English, and I quote, "Offensive Chinese activity in the Himalayas and Mount Everest, the capture of the village of Rui in Gorkha, the arrival of Chinese troops to assist and teach Chinese. The government is being trained by the Chinese party. The government needs to answer." Well, he's speaking for many in Nepal. We've been tracking the protests on the streets of Kathmandu. Prime Minister Oli will have to answer at some point and account for his words because unlike China, Nepal is a democracy and the leader will be answerable to his people. Territorial nationalism will only take you so far.